Greetings, greetings. This is Dr. Stallworth with a word today about effectively leading people and managing time. One of the most distracting things, and sometimes not just unproductive, but counterproductive issues that we deal with as executives is the interruption of our routine and our effort to get things done. One thing that you can do to be sure that your interruptions are minimized is to have an understanding with your colleagues, with your employees about what's important. Sometimes employees will interrupt you over things that could wait. I call them red light, green light issues, and even amber, yellow light, which is, of course, in the middle. If it's a red light issue, a priority one, then the employee, the colleague, should know that it warrants your being interrupted. If you're on a phone call, if you're in a meeting, they'll come in and they'll make it known to you, whatever it is. And it's very rare that you'll have a red light issue that's a priority one. Priority two is an amber, a yellow light, where the employee is making a decision about whether or not it's important enough to interrupt you. And of course, green light means that if it doesn't require your immediate attention, it can wait. And it can go in the parking lot and they'll tell you about it and get your attention about it at the first convenient opportunity. That's a green light. That's a priority three. So you got priority one, which is red light, priority two, yellow light, and then priority three, which is a green light issue. Have that established with your colleagues about how important, and don't do it with contention, do it with conviction up front to let them know that you're very serious about the management of your time. They'll respect that. They'll respect that. And that they won't feel nervous about whether or not they are not making a good ongoing decision about whether or not you need to be interrupted. Number two is the point for today. Don't always hold meetings with your colleagues, your employees in your office. Go to their office when it's practically possible, convenient, because it's going to give you the power to get up to leave when it's time. When the meeting's over, you don't have to languish and sit there and wait for that employee to politely leave, because then it gives them the power to continue to sit there and segue into issues that you may not necessarily have the time to hear. But if you are on their turf and you can get up and leave, then that puts you in the driver's seat at all times and gives you the better opportunity to be polite and to say, well, gotta go, got another meeting, and then you kindly get up and leave. So again, hold it at their office when possible. And that way it gives you an opportunity to get there and look around and let them know that you care enough to come to see where they are and what's going on with them. So lead not just by a distance, but lead in person when possible. And the third thing is AID. AID is an acronym, it's a syntax, it's a mnemonic way of remembering the three things as to why you're holding a meeting in the first place. It's either to give advice, which you should give yourself enough time to do in order for that employee to ask questions, for it to be substantive, whatever advice you're giving to them, and that they'll leave better than they've come, or that you'll leave them better than how you entered that conversation with some advice that's going to help. And the third, AID, the I is information. When it's just information, it can be done very quickly. It can be done in a phone call, a text message, an email that gives them information without necessarily an opportunity for feedback from that person at that time. And the D is very similar to the advice, which is decision. Always give yourself plenty of time to meet with your colleague, your people, to make a sound decision. Sometimes you only have one opportunity to get it right with that decision. So you want all the variables on the table so that you can have a 360 view, if possible, 360 view about that decision. And don't be someone with the reputation of being indecisive. An indecision is a decision. And when people are indecisive, they are not making the best of your time and their time by not having the information that they've come for, which is a decision. And don't let them rush you into a decision, but give yourself plenty of time to ultimately make a decision, and don't let that point that some people will have of being indecisive to linger. This has been Gregory, Dr. Stallworth. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and let's continue to be positive in the workplace as we are leading people and managing our time. Thank you.